Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of NXT. Tonight we continue the breakout tournament, but now we're going to see how Mustafa Ali deals with the NXT debut of Baron Corbin live here tonight on NXT. Now tonight, part of this Mustafa Ali matchup here, Ali has to win 3 matches in 3 weeks if he wants that NXT North American Championship matchup at Halloween Havoc, which would just be in 7 weeks' time. But if Mustafa Ali cannot do that in 7 weeks' time, or win 3 matches in 3 weeks, he will not get that championship matchup, and he's going to have to do what everyone else has to do, start from the bottom and work their way up and honestly just pick up wins. So we'll see how Mustafa Ali is going to do, especially against this man, Happy Corbin. He is a former Intercontinental Champion. While it was just a day, it still counts as a championship reign. So we'll see how Happy Corbin does tonight live here on NXT in his NXT debut. He's been on Raw and SmackDown over the years, but we'll see how he fares down here in NXT. A big man with a lot of untapped potential, as there is Mustafa Ali. He's going to look to chase the light tonight, see that light at the end of the tunnel, and it all starts with a win over Baron Corbin tonight. Can Mustafa Ali do it? A lot of people are going to doubt Mustafa Ali and see if he's going to be able to even go that far in this matchup, but we are going to figure it out tonight. Can Mustafa Ali dig down deep and have one of those moments that a superstar wants to have in their life, where they're able to, figure themselves out in their career and start from the bottom of their reemergence in the championship scene. And we don't know who the 2 other opponents that Ali's going to be facing next week and the week after just yet. So Ali's going to have a tough test tonight, but I can only imagine who Christian will pick for his other 2 opponents. But we might not even have to worry about that if Ali does not win tonight. But we are going to have an absolute banger of a kickoff here. Here we go, referee ringing the bell. Strength versus agility. Strength versus endurance. Who is going to be able to outlast the other? Baron Corbin, known for his bare knuckle fighting ability, also a former NFL player. We'll see how Baron Corbin fares tonight. Briefly was managed by JBL before JBL became the SmackDown general manager. I was really interested to see where Baron Corbin was going to go with that, but unfortunately was not able to go too far, like I mentioned before JBL became the SmackDown general manager. But this man certainly has so much that he can offer, despite, not being really liked by the fans or whatever. He doesn't care about that. It's about money and championships. And so far in his career, that really hasn't worked out too well for Baron Corbin. And tonight, with a win over Mustafa Ali, that will certainly help him try to turn things around in his career. Baron Corbin has been around for a very long time, almost to the start of this series. And like we mentioned, 1 championship reign, 1 Intercontinental Championship reign, and that has been about it. He has not been able to figure it out just yet. But there's a lot of time where these superstars have to, take years and years to really figure it out and really pick that perfect timing to win that next championship or have that WrestleMania moment or that Royal Rumble moment type of situation. That's a big clubbing blow to the back. Baron Corbin taking too much time there. And look at Mustafa Ali. Oh, big DDT there, dropping him on the back of his neck. It seemed like Ali was going to try to go for something there, but Baron Corbin, 1 step ahead of him. Oh, big clubbing forearm strike. Did you see how hard he hit him? And then he's going to go ahead with that knockout punch there as well. Ali could be in trouble right now, taking too much damage here. Oh! Is that enough? Ali able to keep himself in the matchup, and now he's firing himself up. Can he get himself back in this matchup? He took a lot of headshots as of late, but Ali's certainly going to dig down deep as Ali through the middle rope. Look at that face buster takedown. Is that enough to take down Corbin? No. Big strong kick out at 2.5. Mustafa Ali needs to dig down deep here. Ali setting up something, trying to decide what he wants to do. Frog splash. Surprised he didn't try to go for that 450 or the 054 to really try and put away Baron Corbin, but I think Ali is deciding, hey, I'm going to need to do a lot more damage if I'm going to put away a man like Baron Corbin. Certainly Baron Corbin's a big dude. He certainly can take a lot of damage. It's now Baron Corbin. Going to go for that suplex. Oh, look at the strength, the power of Baron Corbin. Just squatting another man, making it look so easy. And now Corbin trying to run away or get out of the situation. Drop kick to the right knee. Stuns Corbin momentarily. And, oh, nice. Almost like a Russian leg sweep type of maneuver. It takes down Corbin briefly. Now Ali needs to decide again what he needs to do. Continue on the momentum. Make this a fast-paced matchup. I think that's all Ali needs to do in this situation if he wants to knock off Baron Corbin here. That DDT once again will certainly help this situation. Referee trying to get in position. Will that DDT be enough? Yes, it is. Mustafa Ali with a big win over Baron Corbin tonight. It was not a pretty win, certainly, but that DDT was a beauty of its own. Ali certainly having to dig down deep tonight to defeat Baron Corbin. A DDT like that brings back the shades of, honestly, of Jake the Snake Roberts. With those DDTs, you weren't seeing them all the time. Now we see DDTs all the time, but Mustafa Ali is going to have at least another opportunity next week. Well done, Mustafa Ali. You passed step 1. But step 2 next week is going to be a little bit of a better opponent, as Baron Corbin didn't really show us too much. Wasn't really too much of a match for you. So next week, live here on NXT, you're going to go one-on-one with the leader of Schism, that being Joe Gacy. Good luck. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. So next week it is confirmed. Joe Gacy takes on Mustafa Ali one-on-one. But now we move on to another first-round matchup in the men's breakout tournament as Tony D'Angelo takes on the NXT debut of Andre Chase. The Chase University being represented in the house tonight. You know, Tony D'Angelo trying to change the landscape, the outlook for NXT, trying to make NXT more of a homegrown show instead of NXT free agents and anything like that. And this tournament has essentially been all of NXT homegrown talent, which is what you love to see, and especially what Tony D'Angelo loves to see. And I think for Tony D'Angelo, you're starting to see it rub off on the NXT general manager, Bret the Hitman Hart, because as we saw a couple weeks ago, actually last week, at the latest NXT show that we had, we saw the matchup where CM Punk, he could have waited 8 weeks. All he had to do was wait 8 weeks at Halloween Havoc, but CM Punk did not want to wait, so he had the NXT Championship matchup at the main event of last week's show. Well, we saw Kenny Omega win due to the outside distraction of Wade Barrett. And tonight, in your main event, we will be seeing Wade Barrett calling out CM Punk. It is not a wrestling match, but they certainly will be ending the show on a very unpredictable note. The actual main event tonight is Blackpool Combat Club's own Wardlow and Cesaro taking on Pretty Deadly in a non-title matchup. But we're going to be talking about a lot these next couple weeks of this NXT Breakout Tournament, where the winner will get a championship matchup at NXT TakeOver Halloween Havoc. As here we go, Tony D'Angelo versus the NXT debut of Andre Chase. be our first time really seeing how Andre Chase is going to be faring. He is the professor, the main teacher, the main man of Chase University. Hearing there's a lot of students, a lot of people that have been growing inside of Chase University, and I think we're just getting a little taste of it tonight. We'll see how he fares as he is the leader of Chase University. As big boot there takes down the Don of NXT. Andre Chase needs to be very careful because you don't want to be sleeping with the fishes if you take out Tony D'Angelo. But nonetheless, it's gonna be a big night, no matter what we have tonight. Coming up next, we're going to see the NXT Women's debut of Raine as she takes on Wendy Choo, as well as tag team partners Zoey Stark and Nikkita Lyons go at it in singles action. So going for a clothesline, both men, I should say, missing out on that. And now, look at that release suplex there from Tony D'Angelo, absolutely impressive. That's big reversal from Andre Chase there, and now we're going to try to make him pay. Pivotal moment in this matchup. Both men have been back and forth this whole match. Have been able to kind of stand their own ground, which is what you love to see in the standout tournament, where these superstars get this opportunity to really showcase what they bring to the table. It's not every day that these guys are going to get these opportunities. As Tony D'Angelo, big axe handle, takes down Andre. Tony D'Angelo starting to fire himself up here. This is going to get very, very bad for Andre Chase here. The other NXT breakout tournament matchup will be happening later on tonight as Odyssey Jones, the big man, takes on Nathan Frazier. Nathan Frazier makes his NXT debut as well. In these breakout tournaments, you're going to see a lot of men and women debuting in these tournaments, and when you have a breakout tournament like that, that's what you kind of like to see, giving them a showcase where no other showcase can really happen at, especially here in this NXT roster, especially with the number of talent that we have down here. We're at a 7 right now. Can Andre Chase get back in the ring? Yes, he does. Tony D'Angelo looked like he was expecting maybe a count-out victory there. But, look at that maneuver. Very innovative maneuver there from Andre Chase. That is certainly going to wow the NXT General Manager, Bret the Hitman Hart here. Big punch there, turning Tony D'Angelo inside out. And this right here is certainly going to do the same as a big knee to the tailbone of Tony D'Angelo. Andre Chase, for a man that's wrestling in his Chase University attire, is moving around like he has not missed a step at all. As again, Andre Chase starting to heat up right now. Tony D'Angelo could be in a bad way. Can the Professor knock off the Don tonight and advance to the second round of this breakout tournament? Look at that maneuver. Big time maneuver from Andre Chase. Is this it? 2? No. Big 2.5. And Tony D'Angelo, so far in his young career, he's had some big matches with the likes of CM Punk and Chris Jericho. Is Andre Chase almost hitting like a flatliner type of maneuver? And no, not able to knock off Tony D'Angelo. But like I was trying to mention, that Tony D'Angelo actually has a win over Chris Jericho, as well as a hard-hitting matchup with CM Punk. Not a lot of superstars can really say, especially on this NXT roster, saying, oh, hey, I went toe-to-toe, took him to his limit. But Tony D'Angelo certainly can do that. There's Andre Chase. Oh, my goodness. A big-time maneuver there from Tony D'Angelo. Is this it? No, continues to keep himself in it. Both men they know how big this match is. They're hitting those big-time maneuvers. There's a swinging neck breaker there from D'Angelo. That has to be it. Yes, it is. Tony D'Angelo advances. What a match. Back and forth. Andre put it all on the line. So did Tony. But ultimately, the swinging neck breaker there from Tony D'Angelo puts down Andre Chase. And Tony D'Angelo advances to the second round of the breakout tournament. As coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, we start the women's first round matches tonight as Raine takes on Wendy Choo. Now this next matchup is going to be quite interesting as Ava Raine makes her NXT Women's debut, as here comes Joe Gacy, the leader of Chisholm, and Chisholm will be seeing the leader Joe Gacy in action coming up next week, as he'll be taking on Mustafa Ali. As you can see the rest of Chisholm here, you got Rip Fowler there on your right and Hager Reed on your left. Former NXT Tag Team Champions. Ava will be meeting us in the ring here in just moments time. But there is Rip Fowler on your right and Hager Reed on your left. Joe Gacy, the leader of this group. It's going to be very dark nights here on NXT. And throughout the young career of Joe Gacy, there's been people out there that kind of compare Joe Gacy with his dark character to Bray Wyatt. I'm not saying Joe Gacy, Bray Wyatt are even in the same league together, but just with the eeriness, the darkness, and everything that you really see from Joe Gacy, you really get those vibes of a Bray Wyatt, I suppose. Not, like I mentioned, not completely comparing him to Bray Wyatt, but definitely there is some similarity between the two for sure. But both of these men out here to protect Ava Raine. Like I mentioned, she is the daughter of The Rock, as there she is, Ava Raine, making her NXT Women's debut here live on NXT, and she takes on Wendy Choo, who has actually had a couple matches in her young career here on NXT. And so very surprisingly, she's actually looked quite well in those matches. And a lot of people might think, oh, hey, she's in her pajamas, her onesies, and all this other stuff. But, I definitely think it can go places with this little, gimmick, whatever the hell this certainly want to be called. But, I think Wendy Choo can certainly surprise people with what she has going on right now. Yes, she's a comedy act and whatnot, but she wouldn't be signed in NXT if she doesn't have that wrestling background and didn't know what she was really doing. And we've really seen it over the last month or so when she's been here in NXT. She can definitely get it done, but we'll see how she fares tonight with the debut of Ava Raine. Yes, here we go, Ava Raine and Wendy Choo. Very impressive. If this is correct, Wendy Choo's opponent, Ava Raine, is the first ever superstar that is a fourth generation talent in WWE. I've heard that news from The Rock and other stuff. I guess you can't always trust The Rock, but it totally would make sense if Ava Raine would be the first ever fourth generational talent in WWE history. But it's a lot of stuff to live up to. Now Wendy Choo from behind, trying to take it to Ava Raine here early. Look at this agility here. Now big clubbing elbow takes down Ava Raine, and now Wendy Choo starting to heat up here. This is not where you want to be in your NXT debut right now, being taken to the woodshed to a woman wearing an ice cream pajama onesie here. We've certainly seen our interesting characters throughout the series, ladies and gentlemen, from R-Truth to the Hurricane to the Boogeyman. We've seen it all here in WWE, especially here in NXT, Raw, SmackDown. It does not matter. We've seen all sorts of things here in the series. As a beautiful moonsault there from Wendy Choo. Little collar elbow tie up Wendy Choo here. Look at the power, the strength with a brain buster, dropping her right on her head. Ava Raine not looking too well here. That dodge definitely helped her out, though. Last week we started the first round of the big-time breakout tournaments as a gut wrench. Oh, going to turn into a power slam. No! Wendy Choo. Absolutely impressive reversal from Wendy Choo. She hits her with that running bulldog on her arm there. But last week we saw Tiffany Stratton defeat Xia Li in one-on-one contest, as well as a lot of people considered an upset, Ivy Nile defeating Blair Davenport one-on-one. And then on the men's side, we saw Axiom defeat Joe Gacy. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Wendy Choo with a big elbow to the chest there of Ava. As well for the men's side, we saw Damon Kemp defeat Reggie in a one-on-one contest as well. So we're starting to figure out the field for this breakout tournament here. As Wendy Choo tossing Ava Raine back in the ring. Next week here, we'll see Axiom take on Damon Kemp in the second round, as Tiffany Stratton will also be taking on Ivy Nile in the second round of the breakout tournament. And this will be the opportunity for Ava Raine to really get something going right now if she wants to advance to the second round. Collar elbow tie up between both women. Off the ropes we go. Oh, look at Ava Raine just plowing through Wendy Choo as both women trying to figure each other out. Oh, gonna go for a Hurricane Rana maybe? Oh, but nice face buster takedown there, Wendy Choo. And this is where Ava Raine, like I mentioned, needs to start, hitting more powerful maneuvers, because Wendy Choo has been one step ahead of her this whole way. And with the support of Joe Gacy and their faction, I think Ava Raine could certainly go places for sure. There's a big knee strike to the temple. Uh-oh. What is Ava Raine? I think she may have been thinking about getting a weapon, but certainly you don't want to disqualify yourself in your first ever NXT matchup like this. I mean, certainly people would certainly be scratching their head, be like, hey, you're having a breakout tournament moment and you're going to ruin it by hitting your opponent with a steel chair or a baseball bat or whatever the hell it is. But thankfully Ava Raine decided up against not doing that. Off the ropes we go. Here comes Ava Raine. What a super kick. Down goes Wendy Choo. Is that going to be enough? No, Wendy Choo able to stay down. She won't be going to sleep just yet, as, Ava Raine setting up Wendy Choo. Oh, big reversal from Wendy Choo. A much-needed reversal at that time. Very curious about what Ava Raine may have been setting up. Maybe, from the looks of it, I may want to say a rock bottom, but I don't want to put words in my mouth if I'm not too sure about it. As Wendy Choo just slowing down this matchup. It's certainly what she needs to do. Slow it down, get it back to where her pace was earlier on in this matchup, where she was dominating. Wendy Choo just trying to wear out Ava Raine with these low hits to the head, especially to the face. And look at it. This is definitely going to help her out too. Just right here, just stepping on her hair. Just trying to rip her hair out of her head with that type of maneuver. Not something that you see every day. As a big boot takes down Ava Raine. Ava Raine may not even know where she's at. Oh, come on. Wendy Choo absolutely loving where she's at. She is taking a lot of time, though. As, oh, look at this. Big forearm. Ooh, big chop there. And again, drags her down by her hair. Pinfall opportunity. Could this be enough to knock off Ava Raine? No. Ava Raine at the very last second. 2.9. Look at it. Chisholm, are not really too sure about this referee, is, wait a minute. Oh my goodness. That may be all she wrote tonight. Yes, it is. Wendy Choo defeats the NXT debut of Ava Raine. Look at that super kick early on. Eventually, Ava Raine would try to go for what may have seemed for like a rock bottom, but it got kind of countered / dodged. But Wendy Choo digs down deep tonight, and she advances to the second round, I should say, by knocking off Ava Raine tonight. Big time matchup there. But next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have Zoey Stark and Nikkita Lyons, former women's tag team champions, in action. Once again, we are back, and now this next matchup is going to be very interesting. The end of the first round here is going to be former women's tag team champions going at it, and current NXT tag team Nikkita Lyons and Zoey Stark going at it to become the next breakout star here in this NXT women's tournament. Nikkita Lyons, certainly a very terrific superstar in the middle of that ring brings something that a lot of women can't really bring to the middle of that ring, just with how unique Nikkita Lyons is. And then also you got Zoey Stark, an up and coming woman, and she has done quite well in this tag team with Nikkita Lyons. There's a lot of people who were thinking, oh, this tag team might not work out the best since they're more of a singles career driven, but certainly they've worked well together so far. Former NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, so they certainly have been able to work quite well. But tonight, instead of working together, they are going up against each other to win this NXT Women's Breakout Tournament. As here comes the ever dangerous Zoey Stark. Zoey Stark has one of the most devastating finishers in all of WWE. I don't know what you really want to call it, but it's very, very effective when she spins her opponent up in the air and connects with a knee, almost like a different variation of a GTS, but obviously it's not a GTS, but it's just when she hits that knee, it's knockout time. And we'll see if we actually see that tonight, if Zoey Starks can pick her up and hit her with that vicious knee strike. And definitely both these women are going to be very competitive. Hopefully there will be no hard feelings between both of these women tonight. It's all for that opportunity to become the next women's breakout star, the first ever breakout star, and get in the NXT Women's Championship matchup at Halloween Havoc. Referee rings the bell. Here we go. Nikkita Lyons and Zoey Stark. Starting off fast here with that swinging neck breaker. And certainly for Zoey Stark, I think by starting off fast here, that will certainly help her out. Not just with the momentum, but certainly because Nikkita Lyons is known for that strength, that power. Zoey Stark obviously likes starting fast, when start flying around this ring, and she's looked quite well to open up this matchup as well. Nikkita Lyons just cannot figure out Zoey Stark just yet. As soon as I say that, Zoey Stark was taking too long in the ring, and of course she got attacked. But like we mentioned, these last couple weeks and a little bit more into the future, we're going to be seeing a lot more of these breakout tournaments in the terms of, these matches as we get down to the nitty-gritty and get closer and closer to the NXT TakeOver Halloween Havoc. It's going to be a massive night. It's going to be Halloween Havoc weekend. Monday Night Raw will be having their pay-per-view of Halloween Havoc the night after NXT TakeOver Halloween Havoc. So it'll be a huge weekend nonetheless for Halloween Havoc. It's a big-time clothesline, and we'll be in Salem, Massachusetts, ladies and gentlemen, a very eerie place to have Halloween Havoc. Imagine what could honestly go down there. And so Stark, thrown right into the steel steps and eats a big-time elbow to the lower back. And obviously, you're going to expect a lot of back and forth between both these women because they're former women's tag team champions. They're still a tag team together, so certainly they're going to know each other's strengths and weaknesses in this matchup. As both these women realize we have to get back inside the ring if they want to advance. I mean, they could have a count-out victory, but I'm sure certainly they don't want to do that. Nikkita Lyons taking her time. She knows she doesn't have to rush in there. Oh, no. She just took out the referee and inadvertently inates a springboard crossbody for her accidental hit to the referee. And Zoey Stark's going to make her pay once again. Oh, that running drop kick to the temple. Is that going to be enough? The referee a little bit slow with the count here. Still a little groggy. And she very well could have gotten a 3 count, but it's not Zoey Stark's fault that the referee got hit. Oh my goodness, spinning kick to the temple. And now Zoey Stark, high risk, high reward, halfway across the ring with a big elbow. What a strike. And Zoey Stark may be moments away from finishing off Nikkita Lyons. This is the move I'm talking about. Right there. Flipping her up in the air, hitting her with a knee. And certainly this has to be it. Yes, it is. Zoey Stark advances to the second round of the tournament. And it starts next week, ladies and gentlemen, live here on NXT. Tiffany Stratton takes on Ivy Nile, as well as Zoey Stark takes on Wendy Choo. in the semifinals. I cannot wait to see how that is going to go down here live on NXT. Impressive win by Zoey Stark tonight. And now tonight, our last first round matchup as we start the semifinals next week. As here comes the big man, Odyssey Jones, ladies and gentlemen. He is in action tonight, and he'll be taking on Nathan Frazier, who makes his NXT debut. Odyssey Jones, this big man, has had some action here in NXT, not too much to really talk about too much without the handful of matches, but this man has a lot of complete upside. Certainly a big name talent that I honestly could see definitely going places. The size, the strength, the power is definitely there for this big man, but will he be able to show it in this tournament? From what we understand, Nathan Frazier is certainly a talent that is trained in the Brave Dungeon there, the Black and Brave Dungeon, I believe it is called, of Seth Rollins. And Nathan Frazier, one of the big-time talents that has graduated from Seth Rollins' Wrestling Academy. So we'll see how this is going to fare for Nathan Frazier, and we'll see a lot of maneuvers that Seth Rollins used as well in his career. So we'll have to wait and see, but this is the NXT debut of Nathan Frazier, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome him to NXT. Almost like the Flash attire here. Oh, I thought he was going to start flying at me here, but I think this match has a lot of potential, honestly. You got a big man in Odyssey Jones, and then Nathan Frazier, another superstar with the something that you'd really see with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, we certainly know how damn good he is, a former WWE champion, tag team champion as well, former United States champion as well. So it only continues to get better for Nathan Frazier, just able to take after a man like Seth frickin' Rollins, who will be actually in action at Backlash in a couple weeks' time, as he'll be taking on Gunther. We'll see how that goes, but here we go. Odyssey Jones versus Nathan Frazier. Referee ringing the bell. Here we go. Big time matchup underway, ladies and gentlemen. This is the type of matchup that certainly could be a show stealer for sure tonight. Obviously, these guys have never wrestled here in NXT or WWE at all, but I just have a feeling that these guys could honestly put on a show here. Missing that clothesline, Nathan Frazier going to look to capitalize on that mistake. It looks like Frazier might actually be able to do that. Yes, he does, with that drop kick to the temple. Frazier trying to get this crowd here in NXT all behind him. We are live here tonight in Orlando, Florida, pardon me, for a sold-out capacity NXT episode as we get closer and closer to NXT TakeOver Halloween Havoc, which is officially 7 weeks away. And we haven't seen Kenny Omega, the newest NXT champion, ever since winning his NXT championship. He has been dealing with some injuries, but he will officially be back next week here live on NXT. Sorry that we haven't been able to get Mr. Kenny Omega, the NXT champion, here, but like I've said, he's been dealing with some injuries, some nagging injuries, unfortunately, but hopefully next week we will see what is next for Kenny Omega. Snapmare takedown into a big kick there to Odyssey Jones. I like this flash attire that Mr. Nathan Frazier has here. Something a little different, nothing wrong with being a little different, especially how Seth Rollins is. There's some snake eyes right there in the hardest part of the ring. Certainly will help Odyssey Jones get himself back in the ring, and I think for a man like Odyssey Jones, very underrated talent. I'm sure a lot more people are talking about Nathan Frazier than actually Odyssey Jones at this moment. So I honestly think, this is a moment for Odyssey Jones to step up to the plate, show everyone what he's made of. Because, like I said, we haven't seen Odyssey Jones in a couple months, probably honestly longer than that. But I think for Jones in this tournament, this is a perfect time for him to say, hey, I'm gonna I'm going to dominate this tournament. I'm next in line. I'm the next guy that should be facing off with that NXT championship. Oh, big Luthez press taking down Nathan Frazier. Frazier is in trouble right now. Has Nathan Frazier right where he wants him. Big clubbing blow, chops the kicks. Odyssey Jones here. Big time powerbomb as well. That's what Odyssey Jones needs to do to try and put away a man like Nathan Frazier. You got to slow down Frazier. You cannot allow him to start flying across this ring, because that's his repertoire. That's going to be something that we're going to be seeing a lot of. Especially coming out of Seth Rollins' wrestling school, you can only bet that it's going to be something very similar to what we see on Monday Night Raw all the time with Seth Rollins. Frazier going to go high risk here. Big time frog splash there to Odyssey Jones. Is that going to be enough? 2. No, big strong kick out there from Jones. But for Frazier right now, you cannot get frustrated right now. You got to stay on the attack and come right after the big man. Look at that maneuver. Oh, he missed him. Oh no, he looks like he maybe got a glancing blow to the head there. At first, it didn't seem like he got all of it, but he got enough to really take down Odyssey Jones. But for Nathan Frazier, he could have got frustrated with himself, but hey, he got enough to take down Odyssey Jones a little bit, and now he's starting to work on the big legs of Odyssey Jones to keep down the big man. And almost like an STF maneuver, barricade's kind of blocking the way here, but almost looks like an STF right now of sorts. Certainly Frazier, that will help him out, kind of slowing down and hurting the legs of Odyssey Jones. How much will that submission maneuver come into effect in this matchup? Misses the clothesline. Odyssey Jones now. Oh my goodness. What a spinning uppercut. Takes down Nathan Frazier, but wow. Big kick out at 1. I know Odyssey Jones hasn't really done too much power-wise, but I mean, I feel like he could have at least got a 2 count out of that. He's starting to fire himself up here. This is what Jones needs. A pivotal time in this matchup right now. Can the big man top off Nathan Frazier here in the end of this first round to get himself to the semifinals of this tournament? And oh my goodness, twerking that shoulder out of place, and now Frazier, high risk, high reward here. Uh-oh, Frazier. Oh my goodness! What a maneuver from Frazier. Is this it? Yes, it is. I want to call that like a corkscrew or a 630 or something, but whatever that is, honestly looks like an old maneuver what Seth Rollins actually did. I think like a Phoenix Splash it is actually, but whatever that was, ladies and gentlemen, it was enough for Nathan Frazier to advance to next week's semi-finals, where he'll be taking on Tony D'Angelo live here on NXT. What a night it has been. At NXT TakeOver, I was put to my limit. A man that I shouldn't even let push me to my limit. At Heatwave, Madcap Moss, there's not a lot of times I will say this, but you took me to my limit. Not something I was expecting at all. But at the end of the day, you're in my respect, just with how damn hard you pushed me. But don't take that kindness as a weakness, because I will gladly put you in your place, Madcap. But now, since I'm done with Madcap Moss, I'm on to bigger fish in this sea here in NXT. And I honestly looked up and down this roster, and I certainly don't see any superstars that would be man enough to step up to the Redeemer and get redeemed here in NXT. Ah, Rusev, our United Kingdom champion, a man that barely could withstand Madcap Moss. Nothing against Madcap Moss, but he certainly puts you to a level where you are beatable, Rusev. You talk all that smack, and you almost gotten your championship taken away from you. And I'll gladly take that championship away from you if you're looking for a match. I would gladly take that United Kingdom championship away from you and actually have a fighting champion that these superstars and this whole locker room can be proud of. This NXT universe needs somebody like me, not like you or even Christian with those championships around your waist. So what do you say, Rusev? You man of your word? Keith Lee, a man that has not done anything on the main roster, Raw and SmackDown, and you decide to come to NXT to really figure out yourself, try to get yourself to become relevant. And that sucks for you, Keith Lee, that you still can't figure out who the hell you are. I see a man that should be a world champion, a man that should be holding championships, but not my championship or Christian's championship. How about this, Keith? To really jumpstart your career, how about this? We have a #1 contenders matchup, you versus a hand-picked opponent of mine, and if you defeat him, me and you will tear it down at Halloween Havoc, but if you lose, that man that I pick to be your opponent will face me at Halloween Havoc. So I'll see you next week, Keith, because certainly I don't have any faith in you walking out as the new #1 contender for my championship. Ladies and gentlemen, it is main event time here live on NXT. And you have the other two members of the Blackpool Combat Club. You have Cesaro and Wardlow in action taking on the new tag team champions, that being Pretty Deadly. They knocked off the Blackpool Combat Zone, Bryan Danielson, and Mr. Jon Moxley himself. So we've not seen Moxley and Bryan Danielson as of late, but certainly this could be a big time moment for Cesaro and Wardlow. If you guys remember, Cesaro was in that NXT Championship Elimination Chamber matchup where he was actually the first one eliminated, but it was a big time moment for Cesaro, especially with the championship on the line. We'll see how it fares tonight, though, in this non-title matchup between himself and Wardlow, as we itching closer and closer, waiting for Pretty Deadly to make their rounds out here tonight. Oh, wait, what? Wardlow? What the hell? Wardlow, not to his own damn tag team partner. Wardlow, what in the hell is going on? He's taking out his own damn tag team partner. Wardlow was one of the first members that Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson picked out before Cesaro was eventually added in. So a huge threat was Wardlow, but I don't know what the hell this is all about. There's nothing that would have really led up to what the hell's going on here. We know how big Wardlow is, and certainly he had an opportunity to qualify, but certainly in the Elimination Chamber matchup that happened at Heatwave, but right now this man is snapping right on Cesaro, just beating the 11 crap out of him right now. Here comes Cesaro trying to fight back as much as he can, but now Wardlow just too much here. Oh no, come on Wardlow, come on, not again. Oh my god, this crowd here in Orlando. Just saying one more time, how demented do you have to be to wish a man like this to be beaten, brutalized, victimized right in front of our eyes in this massive main event that we're supposed to be seeing here, as Cesaro powerbombed right off the NXT table? What in the hell is going on right now? Clubbing blow again and again for sure. What in the hell, man? I'm honestly speechless. I don't know where this is coming from as he gets swung into the apron. Oh my. And now this NXT table may be in for a hell of a night, literally. It wouldn't be a series episode if some man or woman is not being put through said table. And again, especially the corner of that table, out of all things there. And Wardlow Gonna set Cesaro up onto the table here, right on top of my colleagues here. Oh no. Wardlow, no. Oh my goodness. Power bombing Cesaro through the damn table. And that, after he puts Cesaro through the damn table, he's gonna pull out another table. This genetic freak is literally freaking out on Cesaro. And I honestly would love to know why this man has snapped on one of his own members of this Blackpool Combat Club. Oh my goodness. This is a whole new Wardlow that we're seeing right now. He's already been a beast before, but this man is taking it to a whole different level right now. I don't know what he's thinking right now. Cesaro in a bad spot. Oh my god. Oh my god, look at this. The power, the strength of Wardlow, ladies and gentlemen. Through the table! Holy cow. Wardlow taking out his own tag team partner live here on NXT. I would love, I would love, like I keep saying, to get an answer. As Wardlow with the over-the-head powerbomb. Damn. If I'm that referee, I'd get the hell out of here. Wardlow laying waste to Cesaro, and now Wardlow requesting a microphone. It certainly looks like we're about to hear it from Wardlow. Damn, that felt so good. I've been waiting and waiting for my opportunity. I thought being part of this Blackpool Combat Club with Brian and John, that this little club would go beyond where the whole NXT universe would ever see us go. And then we added Cesaro. I thought we'd even be better. But I'm not getting what I deserve. Everyone else is earning championship opportunities. John and Brian are. Even Cesaro was in the Elimination Chamber for the NXT Championship. Well, he was the first one eliminated. That could have been me, and I could have lasted the whole damn matchup. But I didn't get the opportunity. I'm not even in the NXT breakout tournament because everyone's scared that I would demolish the whole field. But now it's time for me to wreak havoc on this roster and just show you what I am capable of. And my first victim was just Cesaro, a man that I'm supposed to be tag teaming with. I'm not a tag team superstar. I am a genetic freak in the middle of this ring, and I should be winning all the championships that NXT has to offer. So my first act of business tonight is not only taking out Cesaro, but I will be targeting the Blackpool Combat Club from now on. But I can't give all the credit in the world to myself. There is one superstar in the back that's in the main event scene that really talked to me and really told me how much damn potential I have and how much I'm being held down by the Blackpool Combat Club. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to the man that I will be working with, not in a tag team, but I will be working with this man from now on. Let me introduce you to this man right here. Who do you guys think it was really going to be? A man that I know Wardlow out of inside and outside of this ring. This man has too much damn potential not to be running roughshod over this whole NXT roster. So I had to let him know that the Blackpool Combat Club was holding him back of his capabilities here on NXT. Myself and Wardlow, we're not going to be a tag team here in NXT. We have mutual interest, and that's all about dominating NXT. And if we have to go through Kenny Omega, we have to go through Christian, if we have to go Rusev, anywhere on this roster, we will go through them to become the top men in this industry, and we are starting it tonight. And I guess while I'm out here, I might as well call out the NXT champion, the man that hasn't even been here on NXT the last couple episodes, that being Kenny Omega, the man that won that NXT championship at NXT TakeOver Heatwave. Kenny, I'm calling you out next week here, face to face, man to man. I won an NXT championship matchup. I've already defeated you in a non-title match before, and I will gladly take your championship away from you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is a shame what we just saw. Wardlow stooping very low and teaming up or partnering up with MJF out of everybody. It's the last thing I'd really expect to happen, but well, we have to get to this situation right now. It's going to be Wade Barrett coming out here to address the situation with what occurred last Wednesday night on NXT. Wade Barrett not only cost CM Punk the NXT Championship, but he cost CM Punk his career and beat the living crap out of him. So now Wade Barrett is here to explain his actions as well as talk about CM Punk. He said there's a lot of catching up to do, so we're going to figure out what that meant. Last week when I came back here to NXT, I came back to WWE, and not only did I defeat Chris Jericho, but then I would distract CM Punk and cost him his NXT career, as well as cost him his NXT Championship rematch. Now look, we have a lot of catching up to do between myself and CM Punk, but what I did is something that a lot of superstars should have done a long time ago, and I'm the only one that actually executed. Now, I have invited CM Punk to come out here to be my guest here tonight. I have seen him in the back, so CM Punk, let's not wait any longer. Let's get your ass on down here so I can explain to you why I did what I did to you last week here live on NXT. So Punk, come on down. And now we wait for CM Punk, the former NXT champion, to make his way here, and there he is, the man that no longer has a NXT contract, but Wade Barrett has brought him back tonight as a guest. Now you can definitely feel the tension in the air for CM Punk, ladies and gentlemen, having to lose his NXT championship rematch just because Wade Barrett came out here last week, distracted him enough, not knowing what the hell was going on. But sounds like, from what we understand, Wade Barrett is going to explain to us why exactly he did what he did, face to face, man to man. There's not a lot of superstars out there that would more than likely even do that. At least Wade Barrett is man enough to do that. I mean, he beat the living pulp out of CM Punk, and this man still looks like his face is all healed up for the most part, but it'll be very interesting to see what CM Punk is going to have to say to Wade Barrett after that just brutal assault we just witnessed last week here live on NXT. You are very lucky right now, Wade. I want to hear you out on why exactly you cost me my NXT championship matchup and my NXT contract. So Wade, go and explain yourself and see if maybe I don't hit a GTS on you by the time you are done speaking. One of the many reasons I did what I did was, well, your arrogance, Punk. You came back and you shoved in everyone's face that you are best in the world, and you actually backed it up for almost a whole year as you were the NXT champion. But you didn't care about the people that were helping you at the time to become NXT champion. You turned your back on everyone for that NXT championship. Do you remember what you did to Ilya Dragunov and Karrion Kross? You turned your back on them. You treated them like absolute garbage. And I guess I shouldn't be surprised with a man like you, Punk. You got greedy. Your only drive was for that NXT championship. You know how it feels to lose something. I was once the leader of Nexus back in 2010, one of the most dominant factions in WWE history, but I was eventually exiled from the group at the end of that year. And the worst thing about it was not even 2 weeks later, you became the new leader of Nexus, and you even changed the name around to the new Nexus. which went downhill even further. Then, January 3rd, 2011, I lost a number one contenders match in a steel cage, a triple threat match, and it looked like you were going to help me out, but you ultimately cost me that match. You left me high and dry in that steel cage. That is just the type of man you are, Punk. And you know what they say about karma? Karma's a bitch, and you're the biggest bitch out of all of them, Punk. So, let's go ahead and see what you had to say back, because it's probably going to be nothing good. You were seriously holding a grudge from almost 13 years ago, Wade? You were a horrible leader back then, and everyone knew that. Was it my fault the new group, the core, didn't work out as well? Like, come on, man. You accomplished some things in WWE, but nothing like I ever did. You were never world champion, and I bet that really hurts you down deep, doesn't it? You were never good enough to be world champion, Wade. You can have whatever opinion you want, Punk, but the reason I invited you as a guest to NXT was I figured you'd be upset and you would do anything for your job back. So I'm offering you this, Punk. At Halloween Havoc, myself versus CM Punk. If you win, Punk, you get your job back here in NXT, but if you lose, you are still a free agent and will no longer be able to come back here to NXT. So what do you say, Punk? Wade, you know what? I'm not actually too mad. It's very surprising that you'd actually think I'm mad. I'm upset. I'm very content with everything that I've done here in NXT, being one of the longest reigning NXT champions in this brand's history. So you know what? No, I don't want to match with you, and no, I don't want my NXT contract back. And the funny thing is, I've already talked to Raw and SmackDown about joining them. Funny thing is, Wade, you signed to NXT, I'm assuming, just to come after me. And now that I'm not actually going to have a match with you anytime soon to really fix yourself and get yourself topped off by, being in the ring with me, you're not going to get that CM Punk rub. You're not. So, let bygones be bygones. Move over this shit, Wade, because it's over and done with, and let's move on. Like I mentioned before, I can break some news to you. Not just you, but this whole roster. I'm either going to Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown. I'm going to take some time and really sit down, and believe me, it's going to take some while to really decide which brand's going to be best for me and what championship on each brand I want to go for. So Wade, I'm over and done with. Now, get the hell out of my way. Punk, getting face to face with Wade Barrett. Wade Barrett blocking his way here. Oh, wait a minute. Wade didn't seem to get the answer he wanted. Just hitting Wasteland on CM Punk. And I couldn't say it couldn't happen to a better man, ladies and gentlemen. As Wade gonna look for that bullhammer elbow on CM Punk. Back-to-back weeks, Wade Barrett laying out CM Punk. But it looks like Wade... Oh, Wade's not done yet. Oh my god, this ain't good. Oh my goodness, and a big boot just for good measures. And again, looking for Wasteland one more time. And a big Wasteland takedown from Wade Barrett. But Barrett, he has his microphone still in his hand. What does he have to say? The funny thing is, Punk, I'm not officially signed here to NXT. I told Brett what I wanted to do, and he allowed it. You're a free agent, and now I'm still a free agent. So Punk, wherever you decide to go, I'm going to follow you right where you go, and I'm going to make your life a living hell. I'll see you on the flip side, Punk. Well, shocking in to end NXT, ladies and gentlemen. NXT does not, or I should say, CM Punk does not want to be back here in NXT, and come to find out, Wade Barrett wasn't even signed here to NXT. And it sounds like, from what Wade Barrett's saying, wherever Punk goes, Wade Barrett is going. It'll be very interesting to see how this is going to be going, and what brand Punk is going to be going to, and where will Wade Barrett be following up to. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you guys on SmackDown.